and welcome back to another video. Yes, I have just got up like literally 10 minutes ago, but I thought I'd just pick up my camera, get straight into this video. So today I'm going to be sharing with you what I am eating, because I am now working with an Ayurvedic nutritionist and we've made lots of changes to my diet to get me prepared for trying to have a baby again. So I thought today I'd pick up my camera. This is new to me. I am just trying to figure this out. So yeah, first things we're going to start off with is a mug with some lemon, some ginger, some apple cider vinegar and a little pinch of salt. So the salt is going to replenish my electrolytes after sleeping, and then the apple cider vinegar, the lemon and the ginger are going to help my insulin because we are getting ready for some breakfast. So I'm literally just going to chop up a bit of each, pop it in my mug with some hot water, and that will be what I will drink before I have my breakfast. Now typically I would have a coffee first thing in the morning, and obviously coffee dehydrates you. So I do still have my morning coffee. My nutritionist would love me to get rid of coffee, but I just love it. So she's agreed that one decaffeinated coffee is fine a day, but she wants to move me on to like either no coffee or like organic coffee, but that's a conversation for another day. It's baby steps for now. So we're going to start off with this drink, which I have nice and warm through a straw. Again, we want to warm the uterus, so we're not having like cold water first thing in the morning. And then we're going to move on to breakfast. So there is my lemony, gingery, apple cider, watery drink. I did just add a little crack of salt at the end. Is it as good as my morning coffee? Obviously not, but it's good for my insulin and it's a good drink just to sip on whilst you're preparing breakfast. So for breakfast, you would have seen on my channel, sometimes I do my protein pancakes, sometimes I do my paleo porridge, or I'll have an omelette. But today I decided to do overnight chia pudding. So as part of my Ayurvedic diet plan, it says that we need to support my hydration and my energy, and two things that were suggested for that were chia seeds and flax seeds. So last night I just put some chia seeds and some ground flaxseed in this little mug cup and I added some protein powder as well, and then it's just literally water with a bit of unsweetened almond milk. So I'm going to add that to a bowl with some coconut yogurt as well. And another part of my plan, it says to not eat cold foods alone, so I'm going to add some warm berries. So I can have a cup of berries a day, so I usually have half a cup in the morning and half a cup in the evening. So yeah, that's going to be my breakfast. Let's get that going because I'm hungry. I am so hungry. So that is breakfast for the day. So we've got the overnight chia and flax pudding, we've got the nice hot berries, the coconut yogurt. You could add nut butter to this or something like that, or sprinkle on some nuts or seeds, but I'm gonna leave that as it is for today. I'm gonna go and have my lemon water, and I'll probably have a decaf coffee after this before heading off to the gym. I've got my coffee, and I thought I'd quickly talk you through just some of the key points that we're focusing on with this Ayurvedic diet plan. So there was a 2-page document, there was a hell of a lot of stuff in there, but I thought I would just run you through some of the basics so that if you wanted to give this a try, because maybe you're in a similar situation to me, it's just easy stuff that you could implement and take away. Obviously a lot of this stuff is specific to me and my condition and what's going on with my body, so not appropriate for everybody, but the stuff that I'm going to talk about now is easy stuff that anybody could implement and try, and hopefully it's going to help you as well. So as you guys know, I am insulin resistant and it's linked to my PCOS. So I tend to eat a high protein, higher fat, low carb diet. So she has agreed with that, and it says that my plate, like my meal ratio, should be 50% vegetables, and this is like greens and lower starch vegetables, 25% protein, and then 25% carbs. And now she would prefer for me to get those carb sources from like root vegetables, but she has said that I can have them from like gluten-free grains, etc., but just stepping away from like processed carbohydrates. So before I might have had things like gluten-free wraps, gluten-free pasta, etc., and she hasn't said never to consume those foods ever again, but to sort of step away from having those as like my staples. So we're very much focusing on vegetables and easy to digest grains. So for me, that's things like rice and quinoa, because I do struggle with my digestion. So that is what my plate ratio is going to look like. And then in terms of eliminating foods, we are now eliminating dairy, gluten, soy, and any kind of added or refined sugar. And this is because with endometriosis, we get a lot of inflammation in the body, and these things can cause inflammation. So we're going to eliminate them from the body, and then hopefully that will help with my inflammation. I have done this previously, and for me, going gluten and dairy free has really helped. I just lost my way, and I thought I could try those things again, and I've been in horrendous pain and I've learnt my lesson. So we're going back to no dairy, no gluten, no soy, and no added sugar. Again, to help with my insulin resistance, we have added in that apple cider, lemon and ginger water. So that's something that I should drink before every meal, and that helps to stabilise my blood sugars before I consume a meal. So there's been a lot of research about this. There's actually a book out at the moment. I'll pop it here. I haven't read it yet, but I follow her on Instagram, and she talks all about this blood sugar spike. So yeah, if you want to learn more about that, it's a really good resource. But yeah, there's loads of research to show that apple cider vinegar can help alleviate that crazy spike from eating. So that is another thing that I've been implementing. So I have 3 meals a day. That's another thing I should mention. She wants me to eliminate any kind of snacking. So again, she said here that eating and snacking in between meals raises blood sugars, it raises insulin, it lowers the immune system, and it could also trigger inflammation and sort of like make our digestion slow. So no snacking, which means that I've got to have 3 big meals, and then if I want something like a dessert, like a bit of chocolate and fruit, like you'll see later in this video, I have to eat that straight after my dinner rather than leaving a gap, and then we're spiking that blood sugar again, we're spiking that insulin again. So yeah, not only are we looking at what's on my plate, we're looking at when I consume that as well. So she would prefer me to eat in like an eating window so that I have a good fast as well to help with my digestion. So yeah, they're the main things that I'm going to share. Obviously there's a lot more in here. There's like specific herbs and spices that I should take. There are things like the types of vegetables to increase, etc. But literally this video will be 100 years long and probably not relevant to everybody. So if you wanted to give this a try, then things that you could do is sticking to 3 meals a day, so making those nice big nourishing meals and we're not snacking in between. Try adding in the apple cider vinegar water. You can buy apple cider vinegar in most supermarkets now if you're somebody who struggles with PCOS and insulin resistance. Again, when you're making a meal, have a look at your plate, make sure it's 50% vegetables, 25% protein, and then 25% carbohydrates. As well, you could try eliminating some of those foods that might cause inflammation, so things like dairy, gluten, soy, and added sugar. So yeah, that is what we're going to be doing. So I am going to go and put a jumper on because I am quite chilly, and I am going to be showing you guys what I have for lunch and what I have for dinner, and hopefully this will give you an idea of what my diet is going to look like going forward now that we feel like we're in a position where we would like to try and conceive again. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. Let's go see what I'm having for lunch. I have got you in a cupboard balanced on a cup, but it seems to be working. I'm going to make myself a nice, warming, nourishing, spicy, brothy, soupy thing. as you can see, it's not got a name. I was given some spices which are supposed to be like a digestive tea, and it's got things like cumin seeds, cardamom, I think there's coriander seeds in here, etc. But I thought I would add these into like a nice warming broth for me to have. I'm going to add it to a pan with some vegetables, and we're going to make some kind of like brothy, soupy thing that I can have for lunch. So let's see what ingredients I've got. Okay, so I've got an onion, I've got some fresh ginger, I've got some garlic, some celery, a very dirty leek, and some carrots. So I think I'm going to add those into the pan with one of these Kalo Umami stock cubes. These are gluten-free as well, and then obviously the spices in the jar. So I'm just going to pop it in this big pan here with just a load of water, let it simmer, and then yeah, I think that's going to be our nice warming broth. Here is the finished soup. So yeah, I just blended it up, added in some coconut milk, and as you can see, it's lovely and creamy. So I'm literally just going to have a cup of the soup along with a chicken and roast vegetable salad. So as my nutritionist said, if you're going to eat cold food, then to add hot food. So I have heated up the roasted vegetables, added in some olives, some chicken, and that is my lunch. It is dinner time, and this meal tonight, I actually purchased the ingredients before I went to see the Ayurvedic nutritionist. So I was a bit like, do I include this meal because, you know, this meal is going to change? But then I thought, no, the best thing that I can do is show you this meal and tell you about the changes that I'm going to make going forward based on the information that I now have. So tonight we have got 2 baked aubergines, and then on this side we've got some beef bolognese. It's fresh out of the pot, so as you can see, it's super steamy. So let's start with the baked aubergines. The guidance said to be careful with nightshades. So this is things like aubergines, tomatoes, sweet peppers, I can't remember, I think potatoes was another nightshade. So it basically said you can consume them, but see how you feel. Sometimes because of the lectins in nightshades, which I think are in the skin, they can cause some pain and inflammation. So I will just eat the inside of the aubergine, not the outside. And yeah, it's just something that you can bear in mind. And if you do feel like your pain, you know, increases, maybe have a look at your consumption of nightshade. So that's the aubergine. And then obviously I've made a beef bolognese, and in my guidance it says to reduce red meat. So, you know, this might be something that I do have on occasion and enjoy it, or I could swap out that beef mince for something like turkey mince or even chicken mince. So yeah, that is dinner. So we've seen lunch and we've seen dinner. They're both high protein, high fat, low carb so far. And as I said, I've tried to think about those ingredients that I'm putting in and the benefits of them, which is great. And after dinner, I'm probably just gonna have some fruit and some dark chocolate with nut butter, which has been my absolute favorite thing. And then I usually finish the evening with like a peppermint tea, or I really need to go and buy some nettle tea because that was something else that was recommended in my like food diary. But yeah, that is in terms of what my diet is going to be looking like going forward, with some meal ideas. And yeah, I would love to continue making these kind of videos showing you what I am eating. And if you do like this kind of video, then let me know, hit that like button, and go and follow me over on Instagram because I do show more sort of like foodie things day to day on there as well if you're looking for some recipe inspiration. But otherwise, I'm gonna love you and leave you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.